You've heard it before, and if you've heard it once, you've heard it 100 times. Nitrogen deficiency is a serious problem in crops in your area. If you've seen the yellowing chlorosis on your plant's leaves, mostly on old growth leaves, and your crops just aren't as tall as they used to be, it's time for a change. Enter the nitrogen fertilizer. They come in many different forms and at different costs. There are 5 in particular that I'm going to discuss with you today due to their effectiveness and cost efficiency. These are anhydrous ammonia, ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate, diammonium and monoammonium phosphate, and most specifically, urea. The first is anhydrous ammonia. It's easy to make, inexpensive to purchase, and at 82% available nitrogen, it has the highest content of any fertilizer. Unfortunately, its liquid form requires specialized equipment that will raise farm costs and make the application process very slow. Ammonium nitrate is a relative but has some advantages, especially for fruit farms. It is incredibly inexpensive to produce, and it can be applied at any time of the year. As a plus, it is very easy to store as long as it is done correctly, which leads me to its drawback. It can be highly combustible in storage. Remember the fertilizer plant explosion in West Texas? Ammonium sulfate is a good source if you have an alkaline field that needs some pH balancing. Plus, it doesn't experience loss by volatilization. Unfortunately, this fertilizer can be used in excess fairly quickly, weakening the bodies of your plants and causing leaf overgrowth. In addition, its expensive production costs and low available nitrogen content make it a poor choice as long as you have a pH balanced field. Diammonium and monoammonium phosphates are good for balancing a soil with low pH, as long as you aren't planting a crop that prefers high acidity in the soil. It has multiple forms to allow versatility in application, but for all of its convenience, it's generally used for its phosphate content, as it only contains 11 to 18% available nitrogen. Now I'm going to show you urea. Here is where you get the most nitrogen for your money, as it contains the highest amount of available nitrogen possible for the lowest price of any fertilizer that I mentioned previously. It's easy to store, there's a low risk of fires or dangerous explosions, plus it keeps the soil acidic for those low pH loving crops you grow. One drawback of this is that the application can be daunting, as the nitrogen content can be volatilized to the air if you aren't performing the application correctly. Let's see if I can remedy this for you.
Created using Powtoon.